prison of flesh and soul. The mist clinging to the village of Willow Creek was thick enough to choke on, tasting of damp earth and old fear. The villagers huddled behind their shuttered windows, peeking through cracks at the town square. They were terrified, not of the executioner, but of the man kneeling in the mud. Patriarch Red River, a rogue cultivator who had sought to extend his lifespan by consuming the vitality of 49 children. He was bound with heavy suppression talismans, his cultivation base sealed, but his eyes still burned with a feral, arrogant light. Even in chains, a tiger is dangerous to sheep. Standing behind him was the executioner. He was a man of indeterminable age, wearing a wide-brimmed bamboo hat that shadowed his face in simple gray robes that had seen the dust of 1,000 roads. He was known only as the Warden. "Get it over with, mortal," Red River spat, blood coating his teeth. "My sect will burn this village to ash when they find out, and in my next life I will hunt down your lineage and—" The Warden did not speak. He did not posture. He simply drew a heavy single-edged blade from his back. It was not a spiritual weapon that glowed with chi. It was cold, black iron, stained by years of service. With a movement too fast for the mortal eye to track, the blade fell. There was a wet thud. The boasting ceased. The head rolled into the mud. The expression of arrogance frozen forever. The silence that followed was heavy. The village headman approached trembling, a pouch of spirit stones in his hand. "Master Executioner, thank you. Please, take this and go before his ghost rises." The Warden wiped his blade with a pristine white cloth. "Keep your stones. Bury the body deep. Do not burn it." "But the haunting?" "Bury it," the Warden commanded softly. "I will watch over the grave tonight, the darkest hour of the night, the hour of the rat." The wind had died, leaving the graveyard in a suffocating stillness. The Warden sat cross-legged on a flat stone facing the fresh mound of earth. He was not meditating in the traditional sense. His aura was completely retracted, making him seem like nothing more than a statue of gray stone. Slowly the earth began to vibrate. A spectral mist seeped from the soil. It coalesced, forming a translucent, glowing figure. The soul of Patriarch Red River hovered above his grave, looking confused for a moment. Above, the clouds parted, revealing not the moon, but a fracture in the sky, the great samsara. A beam of pure, inviting light descended. It was the call of the cycle, the natural law that recycled all souls, cleansing them of memory and sending them back to be reborn. Red River's spirit laughed, a sound like tearing paper. "Fools! You killed my body, but my soul is immortal. I will drink of the grandmother's soup, forget this failure, and rise again in 20 years. It began to float toward the light, toward salvation. Clang. The sound was sharp, metallic, and utterly out of place in the spiritual realm. Red River stopped. He looked down. A black chain, wreathed in violet flames, was wrapped tight around his spectral ankle. The chain did not come from the ground, nor from the sky. It extended from the chest of the Warden. The executioner stood up, his bamboo hat tilting back to reveal eyes that were entirely black. No whites, no pupils, just a void. "What is this?" the spirit shrieked, thrashing against the hold. "I am summoned by the heavens. The cycle calls me. You dare defy the Tao of life and death?" The Warden walked forward, reeling in the chain hand over hand. "The Tao of life and death is flawed," he said, his voice sounding like grinding stones. "I walked the earth for 50 years and realized a terrible truth. The heavens are blind. They take the saint and the sinner alike, wash them clean, and send them back. There is no justice in the great cycle, no punishment for the wicked. Let me go." The spirit clawed at the air, the light of reincarnation mere inches away. "Since the heavens refused to build a hell," the Warden continued, the violet flames on the chain flaring brighter, "I decided to build one myself." He tapped his own chest. "My Dantian is not filled with a sea of chi. It is a furnace of judgment, a landscape of spiritual iron and fire." Red River screamed as he was dragged down. The holy light of reincarnation faded, unable to compete with the terrifying suction force of the Warden's technique. You are a heretic, a demon. I am a crucible," the Warden said calmly. "You took 49 lives. You do not get to forget. You do not get to start over. You will burn in the prison of my soul, until every ounce of your sin has been smelted into power." With a final desperate wail, the spirit of the Patriarch was ripped away from the sky and sucked into the Warden's chest. The executioner gasped, his body trembling violently. Violet veins bulged on his neck as he suppressed the raging soul inside him. He closed his eyes, his internal cultivation churning, breaking down the screaming spirit, refining the evil into pure strength. After a long moment, he exhaled a plume of black smoke. The trembling stopped. His eyes returned to normal. He raised a hand and patted his chest gently, as if soothing a restless child. A grim, satisfied smile touched his lips. "Do not worry," he murmured to the presence now trapped behind his ribs. "With your help, I shall live for a very long time. That will give you plenty of opportunity to pay for your sins." He turned to leave the graveyard just as the sun began to crest over the horizon. The village headman was waiting at the edge of the path, looking pale. He had seen the lights, heard the screams. Is it done?" the headman whispered. "He will not trouble you again," the warden said. Adjusting his bamboo hat, he began to walk away, his steps heavy but purposeful. "Where will you go now?" The warden paused, looking toward the distant peaks to the north. "I heard rumors in the tavern," he said. "There is a mountain god in the northern peaks. They say he demands a bride every solstice and eats the hearts of those who refuse." The warden's hand rested on the hilt of his black iron blade. "I intend to introduce him to my hospitality.